Talk to me about what more sanctions we might see, because you've just said that you're considering more sanctions, that there will be more sanctions. What areas might you focus on?
We don't ever preview our sanctions because that
gives...
darn,
not even for you.
we don't preview our sanctions because that's part of the strategy of when we go after assets. That's not something that we like. We don't want to give them time to hide that or create workarounds. But I can say that when you look at Iran's largest sources of export revenue, it's oil, petrochemical, and industrial metals, precious metals. We have now sanctioned all four of those categories. We have blacklisted over 70 Iranian banks that the SWIFT financial system also matched our sanctions. We have collapsed foreign direct investment. We are driving up the costs of the Iranian regime for behaving the way it does, and it's an outlaw regime. It's a corrupt religious mafia that exports violence around the Middle East and around the world, and we're standing up to it in ways that don't have any historic precedent.
What kind of repercussions do you think Germany should face, considering the fact that the German foreign minister was just in Tehran and he was focused on creating a system of payment that could get around U.S. sanctions?
We've had a lot of discussions with the German foreign minister and with E3 foreign ministers. I think they've made it very clear that this is a mechanism, this financial mechanism, that will only be used for non-sanctionable activities. And American sanctions make exceptions for the Iranian people, for food, medicine, and agricultural products, medical devices.
So that doesn't undermine U.S. sanctions?
No, we've made exceptions for that. And if that channel is used for humanitarian purposes, we don't have an issue with it. Now, I think all European companies know that we will sanction any sanctionable activity. I don't think we're ever going to get to that because we see no corporate demand at all for a financial mechanism to skirt American sanctions.
Walk me through, we were just talking about sanctions in terms of individuals, sanctions on oil, other commodities. When I spoke to Secretary Pompeo, he was very, very keen to point out to me that the actions so far, as of May 12th of this year, from the U.S. government, whether it be sanctions on commodities or individuals, that they had not driven up the price of oil. Yet in the last several days, we've seen oil prices popping up as much as 6%. That's massive volatility. Should markets be prepared, do you think, given all that you know, for that kind of volatility long term?
We have done a pretty good job of balancing our national security objectives with our economic objectives. And so when the president got out of the deal, Brent was trading at $74 a barrel. Fast forward to just a week or so ago, Brent was at 61. We have taken off 3% of the world's oil supply by zeroing out imports of Iranian crude oil, and oil has come down $14. Now, there obviously are many drivers that go into the price of Brent. But in this case, by working with the Saudis and the Emiratis to offset the loss of Iranian crude oil, that's been very helpful. So I think we have ensured a very well-supplied and stable oil market. Iran is trying to drive up the price of oil by these attacks, I think, in the region. But we're doing everything we can to deter those attacks and to respond in a way. And we are talking on my visits here. The Secretary is also having these conversations about what sort of ideas do we have to enhance maritime security. And that's a discussion I've been having here in the region.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now, to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.